Hello my lovelies, welcome back to my channel. This is your girl Angel from Simply Angel Tiah. In this video I'm going to show you guys how to crochet a simple crop top sweater. This is going to be extremely simple because as usual I use very simple stitches that you beginners can use to make something that looks really nice on you but yet really simple to make. And it's just going to be literally a single crochet stitch in the back loop, and it's going to be a half double crochet stitch that we're going to be using for this. So be ready. But as you can see here, this sweater is going to look like you have made it with really extremely complicated stitches, but as you can see it's very easy and simple looking. So before we get started with this video, go ahead and get all of your materials ready, as I will do as well, so I can tell you what I'm using. And let's go ahead and get started. Okay my lovelies, so before we go ahead and get started on this video, as per usual I'm going to show you guys all the materials that I used for this project. As you can see here, I have my bundle of yarn. I don't have the label on it anymore because I frogged another project to be able to make some yarn to use for this crop top sweater. So I'm going to find the label and I'm going to put all the information in the description box below. So if you want to know what this yarn is and all of that kind of stuff, please make sure you check out the description box below. But I know for sure it's a pound of love and it is a medium weight number 4. Okay. For a crochet hook size, I'm using a 5.5 millimeter crochet hook or I9 US. I'm going to need my scissors, of course, to cut my strand, my tape measure to measure my measurements, I guess, for my sweater, a darning needle to be able to sew my panels together, and a couple of stitch markers you have should be good as well. Okay, so before we do anything else, make sure you just leave your workstation right now, go grab everything that you need, and then come back so we can get started. Okay, my lovelies, so I'm doing something a little bit different than what I do usually. What I did, because I'm doing 4 panels that are exactly identical in terms of there's a back panel and front panel that are identical, and then there's the arms, the sleeves that are also identical. So what I decided to do was I ended up going ahead and creating my either back or front panel. And then I did the same with the arm panel. Okay, so as you can see here, this is my arm panel. The reason I did this is because I want to try something a little bit different. I feel like if you guys kind of see what it looks like before you even get started on it, it may give you a different idea of what you're looking to do. So that is mostly the reason why, and because we're doing 2 identical panels for the back and the front, and then for the two arms, it's pretty much gonna be the same. But do tell me whether you like this technique of me showing a completed panel first, or you just want me to start the project by showing you how to do it from the scratch, and then you can do your panels offline. But this is what I think I'm going to try. So let's go ahead and talk a little bit about the dimensions of this. So again, this is a crop top and this is an extra small to small because it's for myself. And what I did was I pretty much measured myself. It's gonna be more on a tight fit. So I measured just right by my belly button to get my what the size for each of the sides is, and then this is half of that. Okay, and then I'm going to, and also kind of measured from where I want my top to stop in the bottom and all the way up to my shoulders, and then that's also how I determine how many rows I do up this way, and then adding it to this to get my total number of inches that I'm looking for. So hopefully this helps a little bit, and this is the same concept with this. I usually try to match it, so the number of foundation chain that we start here is the same number of foundation chain that we started here. And then for the arm, I obviously measured my arm from here all the way up to the top of my shoulder to get the length that I'm looking to do for my sleeve. So that is pretty much it when it comes to measurements. So yeah, I have my 2 panels done. So I'm going to show you how to do another identical panel to this, another identical panel to the arm, and then we can go ahead and yeah, let's get started. Right. So the first we're going to be doing is going to be the either the front or the back panel, whichever one, because we already have one that could be either or. And we're going to leave a long chain or a long I guess what is this tail that we're gonna use to sew our panels together. So I'm just gonna do what I do here, which is wind the yarn on my finger, and then I have enough to be left behind here like that. I think that's long enough. And then we're going to start this project by doing a foundation chain of 17. And to do that, we're going to start with a slip knot. Oh, this matches my nails a little bit here. Anyways, I'm going to start by doing a slip knot, and this is how I do my slip knot here. Let me just repeat it again for those of you who are new and don't know how to do one. What I do is I pinch the yarn between my middle finger and my thumb, and then I pretty much wind the tail that is hanging on my thumb. I slide it off. I put my crochet hook in the space or in the hole. I yarn over by going underneath the yarn that is coming from my finger. I go through the hole and I release, and I have my slip knot. Okay, so do it however it makes it easy for you. And we're going to start our chain of 17. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so I have my chain of 17 here, and then I'm going to start by doing the band of the sweater, and I'm going to skip the 17th stitch here. In the 16th stitch in the back, I'm going to do my single crochet stitch just like that, and then I'm going to move on to the next stitch and do my single crochet, and I'm going to do this all the way to the end of the foundation chain. And when I get to the end, I should have 16 stitches all together. So I'll see you guys when you get to the end. Okay, so that is the end of my first row, and all together I have 16 stitches. And so we're gonna start the second row, which is a repeat row, and I'm going to chain one and turn my work, and then I'm going to pretty much do single crochet stitch in the back of the stitches here. So this is called back loop single crochet, and I'm going to do this all the way until I get to the the last stitch. When I get to the last stitch, I'm going to go through both loops, and that is a preference of mine. You don't have to do the same. I find that it makes my work a little bit nice and straight on the end. So you don't have to do the same, but you should if you want to make sure your work is straight at the end. Okay, so I'm gonna do this again all the way to the end. When I get to this end here, you see this final stitch right here, I'm going to go through both loops like this and do my single crochet stitch, and I'm going to chain one and turn. Then I'm going to work back this way, continuing to do the the single crochet stitch in the back loop, and I'm going to do this until I get to about 52 rows total. When I get to about 52 rows, I'm going to come back and I'm going to show you how to get started on the next part of this sweater. So go ahead and do that. Do however many rows that it requires for the half of the measurements of your torso. So I measure my torso to see exactly how wide fully the circumference of it, and then I divide that by 2 to be able to get how many inches you want to do for the first panel, and then the other half is going to be for the second panel. And you can do it loose if you want to. So if you want it to be a little bit loose, then you just add as many rows as you want for it to be a little bit loose, or to be as loose as you want. Or if you want it to be a little bit even tighter, then you can do less than what the circumference of your torso is. Okay, so go ahead and work on your this part of the sweater, and when you get to the number of rows that you require, come back and I will show you guys how to move on to the next step. See you guys in a bit. Okay, my lovelies, so as you can see here, I have completed my 52 rows for the band of the sweater here. Okay, so as you can see, it's pretty nice, even. There's not looser stitches versus others that are loose or tight. And that's the goal. You want to make sure your work is very nice and neat and even. Okay, now that we have finished this part, we're going to build up the body of the sweater. So I'm just gonna bring in the panel that I completed. This is one of the main reasons why I wanted to do one first, is so that I can actually show you guys as I go what I'm doing next on a finished one. So we just completed this section here. We're going to now build up the body of it, which is just pretty much these rows up here. And this is going to be, I'm going to do mine around 30 rows or so. And of course, like I said again, you're going to do the number of rows that you do require for the length of your sweater. I'm doing a crop top, so it's going to be a lot shorter. So that's why I'm only doing 30 rows like that, okay? All right, so let's bring this bad boy back in here. And I'm going to obviously show you how to start that portion. And when you're equipped with what to do, then I'm going to let you guys build up that part of it until you finish the length that you're looking for, okay? So let me just wind my yarn onto my finger here. There you go. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do a chain of 1, okay? And in that very first stitch right here, I'm going to do a single crochet stitch, and then I'm gonna go into the next stitch right here and do a single crochet stitch, and then into the next and do a single crochet stitch. And as you can see here, there's actually not definite stitches to work into. So what I do is I use these little settings here, these I guess waves or ridges, to know where I'm going. So I go up, I do 1 stitch on top and 1 stitch in the valley section, and then 1 stitch, and then so I just alternate those like that. Okay, so that goes on top, which is this part here, the bumpy part, and then in the valley part I do another stitch, and then I go into the next, and I just pretty much do this all the way to the end, which is right here. Okay, and then when this is done, which is establishing our rows right now, or at least stitches, so we can do the next couple of rows. So this is what we're doing here. Okay, so go ahead and finish this until you get to the end, and when you get there, I will be waiting for you so I can show you guys what to do next. See you in a bit. Okay, so I've gone ahead and completed this first row here of the single crochet stitch, and that is just, like I said again, establishing my stitches that I will work into for the next remaining rows of this project here. Okay, so what I will show you is just this one row, and then I will have you guys pretty much work up the number of rows that you're looking for. I'm gonna do about 30, and we're not counting this single crochet row that we just did here. This is just a row that we're establishing to make sure we have these stitches that we're going to be working into. Okay, if you want to count it, you can, but I don't usually count that. So to start the first row, I'm going to do single crochet and turn, a chain and turn. And then in this very next, which is the first stitch right here, I'm going to do a half double crochet. Okay, and then I'm going to go into the next stitch and do the same thing. So I'm pretty much going to be doing half double crochet stitches for the rest of this project now that we have done the first part of it. Okay, and you're not going in the back loop only or the front loop or anything. It's just a regular half double crochet, and you're just going to do this all the way until you get to the end, and your final half double crochet of this row will go in this very last stitch right here, and then you will chain 1 and turn, and repeat that until you get the length of your sweater. Okay, so if you're doing something that is longer than the crop top that I'm doing, then of course you will continue to do it. Make sure you measure to see how many rows you need to be able to attain the length that you're looking for. Like I said, for me, because this is a crop top, I'm going to be doing about 30 rows. So this is my first row that I'm working on now. Then I'll have 29 more to go, and then after that I will come back and show you guys how to start this this sleeve. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. Work on your project until you finish this panel, and then come back so I can start the sleeve panel with you. See you guys in a bit. Okay, my lovelies, so I have gone ahead and completed my second panel here for this crop top sweater. So as you can see, I have my two pieces. I had done one offline before I even started the video, and we talked about that at the beginning of the video. And then I showed you guys how to do the second one. So I have my two panels fully completed now. And I have 30 rows right here after the single crochet row that we started here to establish our stitches to be able to do our half double crochet stitches. Okay, so that's pretty much the two panels, which is the back panel and the front panel, completed. So I'm going to quickly show you how to do the sleeve. So I'm just going to put this guy away for now. Okay, so for the sleeve panels, so as I told you guys at the beginning, I already completed one offline before I even started the video, and we talked about it at the beginning of the video as well. So I'm not gonna show you guys how to start this because it's literally the same thing as starting this panel here, the back and the front panel. So just for those of you who don't remember, what we did was we started with a chain foundation chain of 17, and then we skipped one stitch, and then we did single crochet stitches in the back of the chain, and then we started to do single crochet stitches in the back loop until we have these the length here, and this was 52 rows total. And then when we had our 52 rows, we flipped our work to work upwards like this. And the first row we did was of a single crochet, and then we chain one, we turn, and then we do the half double crochet stitches. And after each chain, you start a new chain with a chain one, a new row with a chain one, and then we did 30 rows to be able to establish the length of our crop top. Okay, so instead of showing you guys how to do that again for the sleeve, what you're going to do is you're just going to literally do the same thing. So 17 chain, skip one, and then do your single crochet. But for the sleeve, we're going to do 28 rows for this part instead of 52. And then you do that, you chain one, you do that first row of single crochet, chain one, and then 46 rows of the half double crochet stitches. So this is all 46 rows here. Okay, and that is not counting this row of the single crochet. The same thing with your front and back panel. We don't count that first row of the single crochet stitch that we start to establish our stitches. Okay, so go ahead and do your sleeves. When you have both of your sleeves completed, and of course both of your panels for the back and the front completed, then come back to the video and I'm going to quickly explain how to join our sweater together before it's done. Okay, so go ahead and do that, and then I will see you guys when you're done. Okay, my lovelies, so I have gone ahead and completed my two panels here for these sleeves. Okay, so we have our two panels here for the back and the front, and then I have one of my sleeves here. So this is one of my sleeve panel, and then I have the other sleeve panel here. So what I'm going to explain here is pretty much the final step of this project, and it's pretty much joining your panels together. So for the sleeves, we're going to pretty much have these all nicely lined up here, and then we're going to line up our sleeve like that, and then we're going to join the top of this panel, the top part of the panel with this, and then the bottom of the panel, and then we're going to pretty much join these all the way to the bottom here. And then we're going to also pick up right here and join our panel all the way to the bottom here, and then just duplicate the exact same thing on the other side. Okay, So this is going to have a wide neckline here, and the reason for that is because it's a off shoulder type of crop top sweater, so you can kind of wear it on slanted on each side of your shoulders, or you can just have it as it has this long part or the wide part of the neckline here. Okay, so again, I'm not gonna show you guys how to start joining it. Just go do these offline. If you want to know how to join it, I have done some sweaters already on my channel, these videos where I actually show how to sew the panels together, or at least I explain it in more details and actually start doing it so that you understand. So I would like you guys to go do that. Join all of your panels together. When it's done, it's pretty much going to be the end of our project. So I'm going to do mine offline as well. And when I'm done, I'm going to come back to the video and I'm going to show you guys how it looks like. And hopefully you'll be able to take some pictures of it as well, so you guys see how it looks on me. Okay. All right. So go ahead and join your top and then we'll see you when you get back. Okay, my lovelies, so as you can see here, I have gone ahead and joined my crop top sweater all done here. And as you can see, this is where I connected the sleeve. And the sleeve is all the way down here like this. And of course, the other side as well, I connected my sleeve here. And it goes all the way like this. This is one of those sweaters where you can wear it whichever side. So if I flip it to the other side like this, is exactly the same, so there's no back side, there is no front side. You can wear it however. The fact that the neckline is super big like this means you can kind of wear it off your shoulder if you wanted to. You could push this quite down like this so that it exposes your collarbone and your neck as much as you want. And that's pretty much it. So I will have some pictures showing here that will have how I will show you how it looks on me. And of course, yeah, that's it. I hope yours look the same. And of course, this is one of those sweaters that you can make it to be a long sweater as well. So for those of you watching the video and thinking, okay, I don't want to make a crop top sweater, no problem. You could just make this into a long sweater as well. Just have to extend the number of rows that you make here. Okay, that's pretty much it. Thank you so much, you guys, for watching this video to the end, and I hope you had fun making this. Make it in your color, make it in different multiple colors if you want it, and as long as at the end you have a nice looking sweater, that's all that matters. As long as you learn how to do your dimensions properly, your measurements, that is all part of learning. So again, thank you for staying through the video. And of course, if you have not yet subscribed to the channel, please go ahead and do so. And make sure you hit the like button, which is the thumbs up. And also make sure you hit the notification bell so that you can get notified when I post new videos, which I do post every week, mostly usually on Saturdays. Okay, thank you so much again, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Kwaheri.